But yeah,
Halo
like,
Hydrate.
speaking of just like random characters, the new characters and whatnot, I am a big fan of Chandler's Law trope.
I'm not aware of that. I know. Is it like Chekhov's gun?
It's kind of like Chekhov's gun, codified by the pulp novelist Raymond Chandler. Basically, it's a piece of advice for writers who somehow painted themselves into like a corner plot-wise. Basically, like the addition of a new opponent or complication, usually amidst a burst of violence, is basically frees up the protagonist from where you become mired in the current plot. So if it's not like progressing and you're like kind of stuck, throw in a new character, either a random NPC that kind of like gets the plot going, a new piece of evidence, a new MacGuffin. Could even just be a bunch of ninjas busting in with an assassination note from the main bad guy.
That is a good point, but then I'm remembering one story or one series of books that makes use of that very badly, and it was by Terry Goodkind. And one of the most egregious examples of that is he just has a dragon show up because the main character needed to get over a mountain. So he just has a dragon. There is no foreshadowing for a dragon. There's nothing talking about a dragon. The dragon just shows up.
That sounds like Tolkien with the eagles at the very end.
Well, see, the eagles at least have some foreshadowing. They're mentioned earlier. Like, they're mentioned in the first book. They help them get away from the wolves.
Yeah, in the book, they appear here and there.
Yeah.
Kind of deal.
So they're not completely without foreshadowing. This dragon, completely without foreshadowing. Nothing at all. And then it never shows up again. It's just like, okay.
Oh yeah, just like Chekhov's gun in any trope. You know, it could be done very poorly.
See, Chekhov's gun is, if you mention something, you have to use it eventually.
Yeah, no, and I've seen a lot of people try and reference and pull a Chekhov's gun, especially in web originals.
Yes.
But
it's surprisingly difficult.
Hey, just because I mentioned something doesn't mean that I'm not using it. I plan on using it like 6 million words in the future, okay? It's still there. It's still there.
Just so long as you use it. And at that point, you probably have a Chekhov's armory. But sometimes that is exactly what you need. You need these fuses that are going off, and like you're not even really sure if the fuse is on until a book or two later, and they're like, oh, that finally paid off.
Yeah, I have like characters that like I'll introduce back into the story, and like the readers will be like, who is this again? They're like, I guess I'll reread the story again. And I'll be like, yes, got him.
That actually brings me around to like a question. Do you ever like reread like a previous novel or maybe even like a previous section and kind of see like an almost unintentional thing that you put in there and you're like, okay, I could make this into something really interesting. I did not intend for that to be a fuse or like a plot point, but I worded it that way, so I'm gonna pretend like I meant for it to be like that the whole time.
I actually had that come up in what I'm writing right now.
I guess
I'm like,
I'm often.
I'm having this display while this character is kind of interacting with these other characters, and it's in the scientific lab. Well, I need to show something off in the lab, so I'll just have like this atmospheric thing that's kind of converting the atmosphere of Venus. I'm like, wait, I could use this in the future for something. I'm going to put this away, file this away in my mental folder of things to use in the future. I didn't even mean for it to happen. I'm just like, oh, okay.
But that's why I always advocate to like at least every few chapters go back and reread what you've already done.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Or what I should have done the first time around is keep a list of all the characters, because what really like did help was the fact that I can say with certainty that I have at least 200 characters, and I think I have more. So it's like really hard I admit that it's really hard for readers to do that, but like every time they'd be like, hey, you need to like create a list of characters and where they were, because it's hard to keep track. And I'm like, I really don't want to go through 1 million words. That's going to be multiple years. and I'm really busy right now. So maybe in the future.
I mean, like, see, the thing is, you don't even know like how many characters you even have like in your novel.
Exactly. It's probably 300. In reality, it's like 500.
I have horrible memory, and I'm primarily a pantser, and I recommend keep a list of like at basic their names and what they were introduced for, and that's it. Like if you just have that, that's good.
Yeah, it's basically what I always do before starting to work on something new. Like
maybe 20 characters in total, and I've forgotten. I've had to go back and like, where the fuck did I have this person? Was it chapter 3, chapter 4, chapter 5? Oh fuck, okay, it was chapter 16.